That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Oh my God. All right, Paul. It's not you. Oh my God. Yo, Jim. Jim is a damn hero, bro. Jim is a damn hero. Oh my God. I never pressed that button. And yesterday I was testing something. Pressed that button and it was dumb. Hold on. I gotta go fix the rest of these before I have a problem. Be right back. Don't gotta change that one and change this one. Yeah, and just in case I gotta change that one too. Oh my God, he's so dumb. That is super dumb. Uh, you know, when you're playing around and you're testing things, never use your show profile, which I've told myself about a billion times. But I always be like, oh, the customer's having a problem. Can you try this? Yeah, okay. And then I use my show profile and I mess it up. Damn it. That's super funny. Thank you, Jim. Oh my God. Jim was like, read your shirt. What a nice day to wear this one. What's happening, Aubrey? Um, yo, Michelle, the closet is good. The closet is good. Your AT says she's getting feedback. Where do you get that from? 1, 2. No feedback. How about now? You guys hearing feedback? Aubrey? Okay. Nope. It's not us. At. Yo. Anyway, Michelle's closet. Why? Why is it so dope? Now she got me like wanting to dig out my whole closet, but I don't have enough closet space to do what she did. Like she has one of those princess closets, which is kind of dope. But yeah, it was really. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go to Michelle's channel and look at her last short. It's pretty incredible. And what's cool about it is you could make it. You could actually shoot content in there, like in a little skinny space. I wouldn't know if I would do like a whole podcast or something, but definitely dope for doing shorts. I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's a really neat idea. I don't know where you came up with the idea. I don't know if there was alcohol involved and how broke you are now that you did it because it looks freaking amazing. It looks like you spent $1 million. It kind of reminds me of those. It kind of reminds me of those. In Instagram, not Instagram, when TikTok first came out, there was this Singapore lady, and she has supposedly the most expensive closet in the world. It was analogous of that. Like, but this lady, her closet is crazy. She has, what is it? Alphabetized if it's color. Chromatized? No. Chromatized? No. I don't know what it is. But she has like the gradient of all of her freaking Birkin bags, which is like, for people who are unknown, it's Hermes makes these bags that was made by Hermes for a model back in the 60s and 70s. And it was designed specifically for her, and then it became their most popular bag. But I think the cheapest ones are like 10 G's. And when you see her closet, everything is Roy G. Biv with like legit hundreds of Birkin bags in all different colorways. And so yeah, it was kind of cool how Michelle set her closet up. It was pretty dope. It was pretty phenomenal. All right, sorry, cleaning this crap off my desk. Anyway, Q&A day. I'm definitely curious as to where you guys are content wise. And now that we are about to roll into the last quarter, uh, which is kind of crazy, the month just goes, right? When we hit 9, you got 1/3 left to go. You know what I mean? Oh, Michelle, I'll find a video real quick and I'll show it to you, and you will be like, "Dang, yo, this chick has like." I want to say, if I remember correctly, if I remember the video, and it was a long time ago, and there may have been substances involved. Um, if I remember correctly, it was close to like $1 billion worth of crap in that closet. All right, sorry, I'm just moving these things off my desk, my little leftover box, because it's in my way. Oh, funny thing. I was halfway through covering up, when I do an unboxing, I cover up the tracking number as well as the address. I see people only do the address and the tracking number is there. You can scan the tracking number and maybe figure something out. But what I did, I realized I'm over here wasting gaffer tape. You could just take your weed lighter and burn it, it turns black, right? So if you need to make a video and you want to cover that up, you don't want to waste too much time, take out your weed lighter. Uh-oh. What happens when your weed lighter is running out of gas? That means you've been using it too much. All right, there you go. And just hold it up against the paper and look, it turns black. So don't waste your gaff tape. Now you know. Now I need a new weed lighter. Dang. Anyway, Rich said, come here, move out of the way. Rich said, why no podcast movement for Ecamm next week? Well, twofold. It's this year. It's a little bit close to camp, considering all the things that we still have to do for camp, and then Paul getting on our nerves every day, sending us emails about what we're missing for camp. I'm joking, Paul. And then we as a people, in order to form a more perfect union, I think we have come to the conclusion, and I think this is something even for you guys, who are out and about and doing things in the world. We've come to the conclusion that we kind of like the smaller shows. Kit's shop in Boise. I found out from people that live there, you have to say Boise. There's no Z. It's not Boise. It's Boise. That kind of show where there's like maybe 700-800 people, maybe 1,000, and you got deeper connection with the individual people. The workshops are more substantial. I just think the connection is just a little bit tighter. Now, I love podcast movement. I love the team. Most of all, it's just come to Dallas and hang out with Rich. But I think from not only a business standpoint, but a chance to sort of like meet and greet and hang out with your people, I think the smaller conferences are better. Like, I just do. So that's why camp is so dope, right? Because it's small. We get an opportunity to actually spend some quality time with your kin folks. And yeah, so we're still working with the movement team to do another event. It's going to be another one of their Pokemon events, which is after camp. But this time the dates just ran a little bit tight. I also had planned on being in Japan right now, which is why I had vacation last week, even though I ain't went nowhere except to the therapist. But yeah, normally this would have been my Japan trip time. And so if I start acting bitchy, it's lack of Japan. That's all it is. Because I didn't get a chance to hit Japan this go around. And yeah, Paul, you know how vacations work for myself and Katie. It's still doing shit. Like I worked every day of vacation, which is also stupid. But well, except yesterday. Yesterday I ain't did shit. But pretty much I worked every day of vacation. It was kind of funny. Yeah, I would love to go to Terry Black's. So at this point, Rich, what I'm gonna do is just when Alaska says I need to spend my Hawaiian miles, I'll just come to Dallas. So just to the hang of it. Because you're right. It would have been fun. Nice chance to hang out this week and, do some things. Out here and about in these here streets. All right, I got a question for each and every one of you kin folks out here in this particular podcasting era. Yo, why is none of my stuff lining up today? I'm sorry, I'm having a Virgo ACDC moment. I'm having everything is not how I like it moment. Give me a second to play. Yes, I am that anal about straight. Not that kind of straight, Paul. That sounded. Never mind. We're not even going to repeat any of that right now. We're not going to have any repeat about that right now. What I was about to say, I'll save it for class. And Paul, see what the heck? Are you having fish and chips? Oh, pizza. I was like, dude, if this dude is eating fish and chips in the Zoom room, that'd have been about the most British thing you've ever done. While he's missing a tire on a camper van, looking like the movie. Oh God, what was it? With Colin Farrell. Oh, I gotta get a caravan for me, mum. Stitch. Yeah, snitch. Oh God, I can't remember. Snatch. There we go. That's the one. That's the correct one. Snatch. I gotta get a caravan for me mom. He's looking for a caravan for me mom. So that's what you look like right now. um, yeah. Anyway, so my question that I have for you guys, because I'm super curious, I had a moment of, and Jim teased me in the comments. I had a moment of weakness, and I almost bought something I shouldn't have bought. I didn't. I was close to it. Um, and sometimes, and I am hella guilty of this, will okay, sometimes I get some new piece of gear because I just want it. And sometimes I get some new piece of gear because I don't like the word bored. I'll say idle. I don't like the word bored. I don't really do bored. If I'm bored, I'll do something. You know what I mean? Like when you get a wild hair to do what Michelle did and rip out your whole damn closet and build a new one. That wouldn't be, she didn't do that because she was bored. She did that because she was idle. And sometimes when you're idle, you find yourself, I'm gonna go buy some new thing to get myself involved in. Right? So 3D printer. Right there. Right? For music people, new guitar. Right? For Aubrey, who just ran away to Wake and Bake. Actually, what time is it in Georgia? It's like 12. Never mind, she's good. 2, actually. Um, it's buy a new fountain pen, right? Uh, you know, so everybody has that thing that when their brain gets idle, they go and buy some new something, right? For Gretchen, it would be an ass load of new paint or maybe a new book or something of that nature. So, do you have in your possession a piece of gear that you bought, but you haven't really dug into, and somewhere in the back of your head, there's a tiny little guilty spot that you bought this thing and ain't really messed with it yet? I just want to know in the chat. Anybody got one of those? Paul, what do you type? Oh, he's typing with one hand and pizza in the other. Okay, Paul C is feverishly typing. And then Aubrey comes back after I said the word fountain pen. But Paul said he could lie. Duncan, fess up. You were here, so you could just talk. You don't even need to type. You could just speak on it. Wait, let me press the. Wait, you're the host. Let yourself in. No, the screen. You know, like he's live streaming. Yeah,
There you go.
you stole the host spot, so now you got to deal with
What
it. Wow, he's in the circle. So what is it, Paul? Fess up.
probably um, the new X4 or X5.
Oh, you bought an X5?
Yeah, I gave Valerie my X4
Yeah.
and I got an X5 and I haven't played with it as much as I would like to have played with it at this point. I had grandiose ideas, but
So what quotes the grandiose idea? Neck, back, or something else? Because you know when we get old,
how
a
about
lot of times it's the neck and the back that be like, nah, fam, you ain't doing shit.
it truthfully it's been the back. It's like, okay, do I really want to walk around now? I did get a new pair of shoes, so my feet, I think my feet's fixed. So I'm gonna try to start doing more stuff, but I want to kind of play with it before I get to camp more than I have. You got one of those?
Nah, I stole it from my friend.
Oh,
I wanted it so bad. I even listen. I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. I wanted it so bad that I called DC and I was like, bro, can we get it? And he was like, yeah. So he went and checked it out. He got the price and everything. But unfortunately, just the shipping from Canada was going to be like 130.
Yep.
That's even before the freaking trumpets was going to get added to it, which would have been like I think 25 to 28%. I would have swung that. I mean, $600, 25%, whatever. Not that big a deal. But the 130 for
Hypothetically,
shipping was crazy.
hypothetically, could somebody like bring it to camp
Yeah, so
and
I just
then
I say if I decide to go with it and it's not available in the US by the end of next month, I can have DC pick it up there and, bring it to camp.
I looked at that and I mean, I think one of the biggest downfalls with that one is the fact, X5 came out with the interchangeable or the
I don't break
replaceable
my shit. I
lenses.
don't care. Everybody said that, and that is the one that's going to stick 100%. Like, I feel you. I don't break my shit. Number one, I do not own a piece of DJI tech
Uh,
that does not have DJI protection on it.
do I seem to remember the RS1 a few years back?
It was the X2, and that was Fulgens knocked over my camera, and it did crack, but it just got replaced. You know what I mean? Because it,
I was I
huh?
I thought you'd scratched up the lens on the I thought it was the RS1 where you accidentally scratched the lens
Oh
and
yeah, the RS1. That one was funny. That really wasn't me either, but that was Seattle, which is super funny. I forgot about that. Me and Karen and Bob's was taking a picture in front of the real Starbucks. Well, not the real Starbucks. What is the original Starbucks at Pikes
the
Peak? And we're like, cool. We got our picture, and all of a sudden the Seattle wind said, "Whoom!" And I said, "Ew!" And I just missed catching it like by a little bit. But that scratch was minor, so it wasn't really broken. I could still use it. I'm just a Virgo, so I'm a bitch about a scratch. That camera is still, it's actually still works. It's right here, and it's flying. You really couldn't even see it. I could see it if I was staring at it, but yeah. At that time, that was my Insta 360, and I didn't, for whatever reason, I didn't buy. That was my first Insta 360, so I didn't buy the care package, which is normally like $40, right? And I
yeah.
didn't do it because I didn't know how good Insta 360 was. It was kind of an experiment. I was willing to take my knocks with that one. But for DJI, because I had a drone and I've never crashed a drone, but my dad did. And then all my dad did was send it, DJI send a new one. Like they crisscross in the sky. So the new one landed before the old one gets back to DJI. And DJI Care is normally less than $40. And I always get DJI Care. So my Osmo Pocket 3, I never, broke it or did anything with it, but it did have a thing one time where it wasn't even that the gimbal got stuck. The screen flip wouldn't turn it on anymore. I would turn it on manually, but if I screen flip it, it wouldn't turn on the camera. And I called DJI, and the new one came like the next day, and then I guess they shipped it out of Cali, and then they said put it in the box and then send the next one back. And then it was like no biggie. So I know people look at that like, oh, it's a money grab and blah, blah, blah. Yes, 100% until something happens. It's like car insurance. Car insurance is a waste. I don't have accidents. I could drive. I mean, I drive like a champion. But there'll be that one time where you hit an ice patch, not your fault, or like, Aubrey, what the frick are you doing? Man, she messing with me. I have Aubrey's on the screen, y'all doing stuff like this.
Sorry, I just wanted to say Apple Store.
Oh yeah, same
When
with
we
Apple
always
Store.
buy Apple Care.
Then
Sorry,
you
we
have
use
them.
it because it's worth
You
it.
have a white woman speak up. Let's say that because you're right,
I
100%. And
I
I'll
am
explain. I'll
sorry.
explain what
Carry
Aubrey
on.
said in a second because she's right about that, and I want to give you props for having that. Um, the the thing is, like, if a deer come out of nowhere and like bust your car or whatever, then you be happy you had the car insurance. And so yeah, when I worked at CompUSA, nobody knows this, but CompUSA is technically a bank. CompUSA is Bank of Mexico. Has been, always was. And the stores that they affiliated with at the time, that was very much like that. There's one other, my brain is missing the name of it. It's a big mail order joint, but it's basically CompUSA online. It wasn't CDW, but it was something like CDW at the time. And so what they would do is they made their money based off the gap between factoring invoices. So if they needed to raise money to build a stadium somewhere, they would put 100 disc CD muffin on sale for $9.99. Okay, that 100 disc CD muffin cost them $11.99, but they're going to sell it for $9.99 because when they bought the CDs from the company in China, they got a 120-day invoice, sometimes 180-day invoice. So with 150 stores, and on Sunday, whenever the ad came out and they had that 100 CD muffin for $9.99, when I would walk to the store, dude, there's 400 people lined up outside in Honolulu, Hawaii. 400 people standing out there to buy 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Some people bought like thousands of CDs because everybody was burning mixtapes and bootlegging, crap they downloaded from LimeWire and Napster in early days torrents, right? There used to be dude on the block like selling you any movie you wanted, and he was buying those blank CDs from CompUSA. So they would get all of the money in on that weekend, which could equate to like literally $70, $80 million. And they could take that and loan it out to the construction company that had to fix something. They would fix it, pay that invoice back in 90 days, of which they have a higher percentage on. And then they could pay off the bill and they made money on the gap. So that's called factoring invoices, right? They're very famous for that. That's basically what cell phone companies were doing back in the day when they used to let you buy a phone for super cheap. No, it wasn't Newegg, Rich, but it was something like CDW. It was one of the ones that was very common. It used to send magazines and stuff like that. But CompUSA owned that company too. I'll look it up in a second. I forget exactly what it was. Computer Warehouse, maybe. Anyway, so the other thing that they made their money on is Assuron. CompUSA, the company that owns CompUSA, also owns Assuron. And to this day, you can still buy Assuron insurances on various things. If you don't break anything, which if you sold 100 laptops, 5 of them will hit the ground. But if you're selling a $180 protection plan on 100 laptops and you only ever have to replace 5 laptops, raw money. Just straight up raw money. They make a grip on that Assuron insurance. Go look up a 10Q on Assuron or Square Trade. I think that's the one you could buy from Costco. Pull up a 10Q and look at what their annual revenue is on basically BS insurance. So I get it. And the thing that was dope about DJI Care is not only is it cheap, but the type of you're going to use it, like if anything happens, you're good. So although, yes, Insta360 has a replaceable lens, by the way, the replaceable lens are $40 a pop, if I remember correctly, and the insurance is $40. So, hello, I can replace my DJI camera 4 times for the same $40, right? So let me look it up real quick, just make sure I'm not lying. Insta360 replaceable lens. Let's see. Replaceable lens kits, $30. Okay. So, and then let me do DJI Care. DJI 360 DJI Care. DJI Care refresh. Would you say, P?
I was going to say the one thing with that, though, is that if unforeseen circumstances happen and you're out and about and you drop the camera or it gets knocked over and you break the lens, you're screwed. You can't do anything until you send it back in and they do the whole thing. Whereas
100%. Depending on where you are, though, it's 24 hours, right? So, yeah, I mean, you got to, these are always going to be trade-offs. And this is why I don't really like comparisons, because it's never like for like, and you can make either situation work for your brain. And that's the thing that's absolutely dumb. I'm going to say it, and everybody hates when I say it because I'm just being an asshole, and I'll be an asshole. It's absolutely dumb that people love to connect and try to compare everything like for like. They can't be compared like for like. Just because they're both 360 cameras, that's the end of it. Because there's a bunch of other little teeny weeny nuances that will make the difference. I can't find the price, but I'm gonna normally it's around $30 to $40 for a year. So, we're gonna talk about this in a second. Let me switch to Arby's word before I forget. I think Rich, the first one is correct. I think it's PC Connection. Yeah, correct. So, Apple Care. I was just about to say this, Rich, so I'm glad you brought it up. I just switched to Apple Care One because Aubrey is right. Now, people, I'm going to give you some inside scoops that y'all might not know about. I may have said this before, but here's the situation. I'm a genius. I was for a long time. If somebody came in and they like dropped their iPod and it was broken and they had a sad story of how it got broken, and it was like, can you fix it? And I'd be like, nah, this is FUBAR, effed up beyond repair. Our question would be, do you have Apple Care? And they would say no. And we would be like, sorry, right? I say, do you have Apple Care? And they would say yes. Okay, so here's what I'll attempt to do. I'll attempt to submit this for Apple Care and see if it can replace. Now, if it's structural damage because you dropped it, car ran over it, dog, cat, cats like to knock shit off the table. Technically, we're not supposed to repair that. Technically, we're supposed to repair like mechanical injuries because, the circuit board died or the spin wheel died or the screen died. Or the headphone port was the most common, right? But if it got wet because you pushed it in the pool or, you smashed it because you dropped it, we called it impact damage. We didn't have to repair those. But if it's under Apple Care, we had a little bit more liberties because technically we're not 100% profit out. So when it came to a decision to decide, can I fix something that should be out of warranty? If it's Apple Care, I have a better feather in my hat when I have to explain it at the meeting on Friday why I covered an out of repair warranty. Because you always got to explain it. And if it was good for the customer, made the brand look good, you saved the day, you might win. All right. So, exact situation. Little kid has a school issued white plastic notebook, right? It was called a MacBook. They were white, they were plastic, they're a little small, like 60 gig hard drive type thing. Bully pushes the kid down the steps. School laptop goes flying, shattered into pieces. Comes in the store, crying, bruised, arm in one of those things, and they say, can you guys fix it? And the original genius is like, no, because it's impact damage is impact damage. And then the kid was kind of like, whatever. And then the dad was kind of like, oh, but like this is the school issue one and we can't afford to buy a new one. And blah, it was kind of like a whole sad story, whatever. And the initial genius was like, no. And so they were kind of dejected and sitting in the corner and the kid was crying. So I go over and I'm like, let me take the case. And so this other dude, nice guy, he's just one of those by the book. He's Paul. He's going to go by the book. I was like, F the book. The kid got pushed down the steps. So I was like, I'm going to replace it. And then I replaced it. And I told the little kid, I was like, listen, either you stand up to the bully or you report the bully, but you don't stand for this kind of thing. And if you think they're going to kick your butt, call me. I'll show up to the school. And that little kid got nothing else to say to you. And then the dad was so happy. Mom was happy. Kid was happy. You just come in, throw the cape to the back. You save the day. You could do that kind of stuff because of the way Apple Care works. So now Apple came up with this new joint, and it's called Apple Care One. And it's 20 bones. 20 or 29? What did we pay, Paul? I think it's 20.
I think it's 20.
It's 20 bones to cover 3 of your devices. I have a 2023 MacBook Air M2 that the warranty is out in 31 days. Actually, I can pull up, that's not even 31 days. I can pull up my, what do you call that thing? System settings. And I can tell you because it's in my system settings. You have 37 days to cover this last MacBook. And let's see, if it doesn't give you, how can I hide the serial number? I can't. I'm going to just screenshot it because I can't hide my serial number. but I'm going to just show you the options. So let me screenshot this real quick.
Yeah, the neat thing with it too that I found is when I converted all my stuff over, I got kickback. I got a refund
I got a
for
refund
what was
too.
left, which was nice.
Dude, how do you make it bigger? There you go. All right, here we go. So this is my MacBook. I got 37 days left to cover it. I can add this to the 20 bones for $6 a month? Are you stoned? I mean, like, are you on drugs? You know what we used to say in the hood? Are you smoking dope or dog food? 20 bones. Now I'm going to be 26 bones to cover 4 devices. All right. So I got my Mac Studio in there. I got my iPhone 15 Pro Max, my iPhone 16 Pro Max, and my iPad M4 laced. Like it's a laced iPad. It's a $3,000 iPad. Like it's laced. I could cover all of them joints for 20 bones a month. Well, it's actually 3 for 20, and then I add 6 bones to add the next one. So I can actually add one more device. They even was like, do you want to put it on your Apple Vision Pro? So I can add my Apple Vision Pro for another $6. I ain't, because the Apple Vision Pro basically lives with me on the couch. But Rich is correct, fam. Rich is correct. Rich is also correct. Ladies and gentlemen, that young kid was Mr. Camera Junkie, and look at him now. Yo, what's poppin', man? Good to see you, mommy. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is just absolutely brilliant. So, I don't understand, Rich, why people are not understanding what a freaking amazing deal for this is. But why do companies like Apple do this? Because for the people like me who don't tend to break their ish, this is free money. Let's face it. But if I went to Terry Black's with Rich, I would have spent that same 20 bones on an extra coleslaw and poking beans. Or, you know, me and Rich drink whiskey. We definitely would have spent that on some single malts. Nika Kofi still, actually. You know what I mean? So, like, if I remember correctly, a shot of whiskey in Dallas at, like, you know, the good kind of whiskey, something 12 years or older, yo, you're pushing like 30 bones a shot. So, come on. Like, that'd have been like a couple minutes to hang out with my dude or cover all of my Apple shit. Sorry, Rich, I love you, but nope. I'm about to get the Apple Care. That's a deal, son. Like, that is an absolute deal. It is really, really good. Al said, how's the Apple upgrade to a new phone every year? How is the Apple upgrade to new phone every year works? Okay, I'm going to translate that from Latino to Latino. All right, cool. So, sorry, Al. I just couldn't. All right. Also beautiful, right? What a lot of people don't understand about that particular market is what's called the tertiary market. Okay, so there's the primary market, which is we bought it. Then there's the secondary market, which is you sell it yourself to your cousin and them. And then the tertiary market is the companies buy the product back, send it to Portugal, or we're not supposed to say first world and third world no more. What do we call it now? I don't know what the right word is. Developing nation. They're not so poor, but they're not like, you know, US, Japan, UK, like that, right? There's a whole heap of countries that are in the developing nation. Paul, why are you smiling? Why are you smiling? You can just talk, dude. I don't care about your British accent. I know what the word is. I don't remember what it's called. I think, but we're not supposed to say third world. We're supposed to say developing nation. Huh?
Negative. I'm going to be diplomatic and stay independent on that verdict.
Yeah, smart answer. But there's a section of countries that, you know, they're on to come up and they have upward mobility. We're probably going to slide down into that category pretty soon if we keep going. But the market for like iPhone 15s and 14s and 13s are massive there, especially like in India. When I was in Thailand, right, same thing. The market for those phones are absolutely massive. The way Apple builds their devices, they're normally fine, right? Some cases, you just change the battery and you're good to go for many, many years. We got people in our chat right now that are sitting on iPhone 12, and we about to hit 17. We're going to hit 17 on my birthday, coming up in a little less than a month. So they take all of those ones you give back, Albert, and they sell it again. So they double dip. If you happen to have bought it on credit, then they kind of sort of make the money not quite twice, but once and a half, so to speak, right? Because you're going to buy let's say $1,500 phone. I just say that. Well, mine's $1,800, but you got a $1,500 phone. I'm going to turn it back in September, and they're going to give me $680 back because that's what they tried to do last time. I ended up keeping it. And I sold my 14 to my cousin for $1,000. So I bought my 14 Pro Max for $1,700. It was $1,699 because we didn't have 1 terabyte yet. And I sold it to my cousin who lives in Thailand for $1,000. And he didn't tell me, but he used to be a lawyer. I know him. He probably went to Thailand and sold that bitch for $1,500 in Thailand because he was a lawyer. I'm just saying he's a professional crook with a degree. But now he lives in Thailand and enjoying life.
The other thing with the lease program, and my apologies, my camera is now out of sync with my mouth. But the thing with the lease program is it's a 2-year lease.
Yeah.
However, you can trade it in a year. So basically, you're only paying for half the phone.
Yeah.
They're going to give you another kickback on top of that, like Doc said, about $600 and some odd dollars. So you're only ever paying for half of a phone, and you're getting a new one every year. So it's like it doesn't pay you to keep the phone for 2 years. I mean, if you're going to make that payment, you might as well make a payment on a new phone. And literally until last year, I've done this since over 5 years, I think now.
Yeah. I
My
started since
payment
the 10,
never
I
went
believe,
up.
when it came out.
Yeah. My payment never went up year to year until this year, and that was only because I went up to the 1 terabyte phone.
Yep. So basically, it's $60 a month for a phone, period. And I don't mind that because what nobody told us back in the day when we were absolutely getting robbed, you were buying at that time $1,000 phone, and the phone company would be like, "I'm gonna give you $1,000 phone for a penny." Lies, but you would get it, and they'll lock you into a 2-year contract. And so they would say that they were subsidizing the cost of the phone. But 8 months in to your monthly bill, you've paid for the phone. The last freaking, 12, that's 24, 16 months, they were just, the bill doesn't go down when the phone gets covered, which is why I never understood, and I used to be so mad about it, right? Once you cover the cost of the phone that they're quote unquote subsidizing, your phone bill doesn't go down. You still paying that same amount. So they were like robbing people. And then what's my man, T-Mobile weirdo, John Legere came out and was like, "Yeah, we were stealing your money, but now I'm a CEO. I don't want to do that no more. Phone calls are $40 a month, and just buy your phone outright. Or we'll do the phone as a separate bill. Like you got the one bill for the thing, one bill for the phone." And so everybody was mad at him when T-Mobile took over, and he blew up. He blew the company up because he came out and told the truth and was like, "Yo, we were snatching folks." We were snatching folks. Rich said, "Long time ago, I got a $3,000 MacBook Pro flat out replaced 3 weeks left under AppleCare. 100%. They used to happen all the time. We had the people, we knew who they were. I don't think you did that, but we had the people who knew who they were. They were very good at somehow breaking their joint, like right before AppleCare would come out to get the next one. Now nobody really does that because computers, they just pick up so quick, right? You want to be latest and greatest. We do tend to replace with the latest and greatest, but the rule just says replace it with the current of the similar value. So yeah, you can kind of do either or. And what some people are smart is they would take the new one and sell it and then add a couple $100 to upgrade to whatever they really wanted. So yeah, that true. We would replace out of warranty. Normally, I would give people about a month out of warranty. It's supposed to be a week, but I would give people like a month out of warranty to bring me something that was dubs. I got you. Especially if they had, frontals, and they was look, I got you, babe. Don't worry. So our Apple Store, Ala Moana, is right next to the strip club. We'll just put it that way. Jim knows what I'm talking about.
Several years ago, I was lying on the bed and I was working on my MacBook, and Maestro was coming over and he was like rubbing his head on the corner of the monitor, and then all of a sudden he just like bit on the corner of,
Yeah, cats do that.
and it went black.
Yes.
And I took it in and they replaced it.
I seen
yeah.
lots of computer screens where cats have bit the screen, or the boy cat pees all over the keyboard. Like, I got messed up because I told the lady, I was like, the machine is wet. Like, did you drop it in water, whatever? She's like, no. I'm like, did it get wet? And she's like, no. I was like, okay. And I opened it and my face went, like, it just, nose, like, started snotzing, standing at the counter. And I was like, lady, do you have a cat? And she's like, oh, yeah. And she goes, oh, yeah, my cat peed on my keyboard. I was like, lady, I'm definitely allergic to cats. And the whole reason why me asking you if it got wet is because I know cats pee on keyboards. Like, I could have died in the store, anaphylactic shock. Like, what the frick are you doing? And I was so mad. She did not get her joint covered for free. I tell you that. I was pissed. I was about to curse a lady out standing in the middle of my store. DJ Khaled said, when you have your devices insured, it keeps you in the customer ecosystem. 100% true. 108% true, of which Rich agrees. Very, very good. DJ Khaled again said, I'm on an 11 Pro Max. Rich, you got a 12 still? See, I knew if I asked the question, somebody would have it. Okay, so back to the original question, because I think AT said something. She confessed, but she didn't. Where you went, AT? She said yes, and then she left it at that. But Paul C says Stream Deck. Louise said you were pissed, and so was the MacBook. Oh my God. All right, Paul. So what is it about the Stream Deck that you feel like you haven't blessed it to the way you want to bless it? And I won't put you on screen while you're having a tobacco break.
Nothing. I just haven't used it before.
Yeah, but
I bought it.
Yeah.
I bought it. It's just one of those items I've never done anything with.
I've been thinking I'm going to let P off the hook a little bit, because otherwise he's going to get mad at me. I can't get him mad at me at camp because I want my room not like in the basement, right? When I roll up into the AC, and they were like, yeah, man, you got the room in the back in the basement by the kitchen. Duncan, you're in charge of reservations.
Oh, you're supposed to be at the AC?
Man, I would come to California and choke you. What the I want the big ass room in the corner, right? I want the Katie suite. Somehow when we go to these things, Katie always looks up and gets the dope ass room. I always get the one next to the weird people. Anyway, I'm thinking, and this is a question for everybody. I might want to do one of them like Zoom workshops. Don't tell the company, but we'll steal a Zoom event. No, I need it to be an open room. I want to do a Zoom workshop where we just all come in, everybody bring their Stream Decks, and we like trade secrets. Like trade, this bitch over here can run, wrong direction. This bitch over here can run it. But we just have like, because I thought of one today, and I don't even know if this is possible. And if anybody has done this, please confess. When I come down, I have one that says trigger the profile, right? So I have, I'll pull it up. I have my Ecamm profiles on a button. Let's see. Can you see from here? Stream Deck XL, default profile. All right. So then let's do screen share thingy, and then let's press Stream Deck. Where's Stream Deck? There we go. Why is there two? Oh,
I need
that's
you
that's my virtual joint, which I think is incredible, by the way.
yes.
Oh,
I need
God.
you to help me with figure out my problem so I can record videos because I can't even make a video.
About the virtual?
No, with the way my camera goes, it starts out really great at first, and then within 10, 15 minutes, I'm way out of whack.
Why is it coming up like that? That is weird. Oh, because there's two windows. You're so dumb. All right. All right, so I can show you guys. I was like, that was the weirdest thing. I never seen a split screen on here. This dude right here loads my profiles. So that's for, the Mary Lou and Me show. This is for my stream that we're talking today. This is for the flow. And this is for when I have to make tutorials for the company, right? I got my YouTube. This actually goes to YouTube Studio and switches to my doc account. That one goes to my Ecamm account. This one is supposed to be to do chat messages, but I don't like it, so let's delete that. Because I think that's the problem. Elgato tech support, do one message every 8 days. Y'all getting on my nerves. I'm about to call somebody. I got friends over there. I'm about to fight. This controls my lights, but as you can see, I got to open Amaran Desktop. AMA. Let me open Amaran Desktop and give it a second while it's thinking. This is Clean Shot screen capture. Ooh, I just opened Amaran Desktop. It covered what I was doing. This is capture the same thing again, right? So you take a screenshot, but you move something, you need another screenshot, but it's in the exact same position. You can do that. And then I got like capture a window. And then this one is for the curtain lights in the back, right? As you can see right now, they're off. But I could press a button and then give it a couple of seconds. And when I start talking, them joints will start blinking, right? And then I got, wait, is it unplugged? Why you don't work? There we go. They had me tripping for a second, right? So I have all of these guys in here. This is a custom screenshot. A custom keyboard command for the safe zone in Ecamm. Turn the safe zone on and off, so you can see when you want to do verticals. That turns the virtual Stream Deck on and off. And then, so what I think we could do is this triggers my voice speaking, like I talk to my computer because I can't type. So I'm thinking what we could do is take like a little Zoom room and get together and just share trade secrets because I think everybody only uses it for Ecamm, which is, that makes about as much sense as tits on a bullfrog or screen doors in the submarine. Bullfrogs are boys, people. You get it? Bullfrog. Anyway, just so you understand. I don't know if there's some people in country, they will not know that. So, dude, we just covered that. You got to rewind. I'm going to say something to me, Matt. It's not directed at you. It's directed at all of the Instagram pundits. Oh, my God. Today is supposed to be Adderall off day. You can't have an off day after you was on fire yesterday. So, listen, Matthew, stay out of the camera brosphere. I'm going to just tell you, they are bad for your psyche. I'm trying to be nice. I don't even know if I can be nice with this. I find it funny that a whole bunch of people who can barely run their own business always got something to say with how a multi-billion-dollar company runs their business. How it's overpriced, sold out. How is it sold out if it's overpriced? Overpriced because you can't afford it? That's one thing. Overpriced because you would never pay that much for it, even if you got all the money in the world? That's another thing. That's not overpriced. That's called it doesn't meet your value proposition. But every mostly non-melanated dude goes on the internet bitching about how Apple, Sony, Instagram, Insta360, DJI, Canon, Panasonic, Fuji, Leica, Mercedes, BMW, Ford, Tesla, all of these companies like top of their game. How they charging too much? If people are buying it, it don't cost too much. That's what, maybe because I went to business school and I understand FMV, fair market value, right? I know a whole bunch of people right now that would never pay 500 bones for a steak. Multiple occasions, not because I'm rich, because I'm fat, have paid that for a steak. Because that's something, man, that is like sex on a plate with mushrooms and garlic. So to me, I will spend that. You know what I mean? I understand A5 Wagyu. It's not Wagyu, by the way. It's Wagyu. So listen, I'm gonna just show you how bad this problem is. Wait, I'm trying to find one. I'm gonna show you how bad this problem is for me. I'm gonna hit a live demo mode. Because like I said, I have done this on more than one occasion. Listen, if I go into my joint and I type in Kobe beef, dude, it's not one occasion. These are multiple occasions. Fam, this one I made myself. But this right here is world-class A5 Wagyu, fam. Like, yeah. Why? Because it's worth it to me. It matches my value proposition. I know some people who have the money and would never buy a $500 steak. But I would. I have. That, my friends, is a $500 cut of A5 Wagyu in Kobe at the oldest Wagyu restaurant in the country. It ain't expensive. It's delicious. Now, when I was broke, I never would have did that. That would have been dumb. I used to go to all you could eat steakums at the Weston Sizzler, which is the name of the restaurant here, which is really stupid, but yeah. And it drives me crazy, right? So then, to your point, no, DJI did not fail by not having replaceable lenses because they're sold out everywhere. Now, we can't buy them in the US yet, but in the places where you can buy them, they're sold out. It's a failure when you make the Pippin and nobody buys it. It's a failure when you make the VW bus that we all waited for with bated breath, but they went from 40,000 to 70,000 trying to be cute and nobody wants to buy one. They have thousands of them in stock. And VW did that ignorant after they got busted for being D-bags. So they tried to act like we don't realize that they cheated a little bit. You go to your VW dealership, dude, there's tons of these on the lot. They're supposed to be sold out. People have put in orders years in advance. Number one, they came out a year and a half too late. And number two, they jacked the price up 30 G's. That might qualify. We still got time because they can fix it or something could change. You know, Oprah might buy one and then everybody runs out and buys one. But unless your business is pulling in like 10, 15 million a year because you run it like a champ, you ain't really got nothing to say about what nobody else do with their business. It's theirs. Like, I'm not buying it. I don't like it. Not in there. That's a better conversation. Nobody can say that. They would rather act like the victim and be like, oh, these companies are robbing you or whatever. So sorry about my rant, but it drives me crazy and it makes the internet terrible and it stops people from who really need this piece of equipment. It stops them from buying what they need. Now I'm going to say something super, super funny right now. Who's the oldest person, not age-wise, but who been in my crew the longest? Okay, there's Rich, there's June, there's Duncan, right? Okay, y'all are about it. Maybe Michelle and maybe K-Walk. Y'all remember when pandemic first hit and all these creators were talking about SM7B is so overpriced. I'm not paying that much for it. And they all had Fifines and Moonos and Yates. And we'll do every one of them spit game in right now. I can give you the list. I want to call out my friends. But every single one of them who talked all of that neuro spicy nonsense about SM7B is overpriced. Every freaking swinging dildo has a SM7B. What you meant was you couldn't afford it then, which is cool. It's nothing wrong with being a broke bitch. I used to be that. Kind of sort of close to it again. But it is another thing to just flat out say some other shit's too expensive because you can't buy it right now. That's just not cool. June would tell you, people used to come into our store and say dumb crap like that all the time and then buy something crappy and then buy something else crappy and then buy something else crappy and eventually bought what we told them to buy in the first place. And for the people who used to say, oh, well, y'all just trying to make me spend more money. My mom used to want to punch dad in the face because somebody would come in and want to buy like a $3,000 camera. Dad was like, you don't need that. Buy the $800 one. No, but I want, dad was like, nope, I ain't selling you this. I'm going to sell you where you at. And then you're going to enjoy the hell out of this. And mom used to be like, bitch, we got to start a run. But my dad was good for that. And so I love that. Like, don't make somebody buy something they don't need. But on the same token, don't be running around here yucking somebody else's yum. I just don't think it's cool. I think it's very victim mentality. And yeah.
I watched one comparison video for the new 360 camera, and I think I got maybe 4 or 5 minutes in. I stopped watching it, and I haven't watched another one because it was not productive. And it's like, okay, so you have an X4 and you have the DJI 360. You got a choice now. It's like you get to pick the one that works for you. You know, are they the same? Sort of, but they have different features. Which one, you know, what fits in your bailiwick?
Yeah, what fits in your
You get
wallet.
a choice. Yep.
Having actually touched it, unlike half the people in the U.S. talking game right now, the fit and finish in your hand, so much better. The screen size bigger, better, so much better. The screen size going in the right damn direction, so much better. Like it feels like liquid sex, bro. This thing is dope. I need a manicure, but this thing is dope. And so maybe when they come to the U.S., I might I told myself I would never buy another 360 camera because it doesn't work in my workflow. But this one has me intrigued. And also, the thing to me about DJI is I get to live in one app. So to Luis's point from 20 minutes ago, being in an ecosystem, it's a game changer. It really is a game changer. And as I mentioned, even though Matt came late, DJI Care is dope, fam. I've used it twice. And, I'll give them the extra 30 bones because the replacement lens for the Insta360, also 30 bones. Oh, and everybody in the video showed them replacing it. And Paul and you did mention placing it in the field. That was in the field in a controlled environment. Because when you wouldn't want to replace it in the field, when Paul's ass was in Morocco, you do not want to take the lens off your camera in Morocco and then try to put on another lens. Even in the camper van with nobody, I live in Hawaii, so I know better. Paul was in the desert, he knows better. Even in the camper van, you cannot see the salty microdust that's floating around. In Hawaii, if you walk up and down the street in front of us, the ocean is 600 feet away. By the time you get to the end of the block, you can just go like this and feel the salt on your body. Because it's in the air. And that's in your camera, whether you like it or not. So you can replace the lenses, but you damn sight better do it in your house or outside where the wind ain't blowing or the rain ain't raining. So, like, whatever, man. Like, this is me. This is my personal opinion. And I'm not trying to yuck anybody yum because I love Insta360. I think they're dope. Right now, I would want to take a chance on the DJI. Although Insta360 got me wanting to buy a drone. The anti-gravity looks phenomenal.
The problem with drones nowadays, it's getting hard to fly them. Like where I live, I have 3 drones. I haven't flown them in years because I'd have to go 40 miles away in order to be able to fly the thing because I'm surrounded by no-fly zones.
Correct. Mike said, I like the reluctant critters, Mike. He said, the daguerreotype camera in 1839 cost 400 francs. Adjusted for inflation today, that's like $7,000. Actually, I thought it would be more than that. That's actually pretty dope. Sony RX-R3. I'm going to just call her Trey because the name is long. Yeah. has a lot more features I would like to see, but it's not overpriced. 100%, bro. I'm thinking, and I've said this before, people who say that doesn't know about the photojournalists who want something. This is big, actually. I don't have anything that small. Well, maybe my XM5. They want something so small, like me busting out this little monstrosity right now will get you stopped. I don't know, June, if you've seen, I blessed up my foods. Ain't she cute, though? Look. Bam. Ah. Bam. Ah. Anyway, it's dope. But you want something so small that you pull it out and you can take pictures. And, of course, everybody's like, well, why don't you use your phone? It's not the same, bro. It is not the same. The phone is dope, and it could do a lot of things, but it's not the same. And so for a long time, cameras like the RX1R and the Leica M11 and the Leica Q3, 4, 2, sorry, not 4, 2, 3, and, little small, I barely noticed them cameras, Lumix LX100, right, which is also kind of a Leica. They're famous for photojournalists, right? The YouTubers like to bust out the big ass camera and the long ass lens because they're trying to make their schlong longer than it seems. But like the photographers that get paid grip for their shots, the photographers you see on AP who are getting shots in places where they probably ain't supposed to be, when this is an exclusive photo of some person, number 47, and some dead offender at a party talking about hotties in the corner, that dude did not have a big lens camera. That dude came in with a little point and shoot. And even then, both of them are looking at the camera like this. Right? So if you look at that shot, it's a famous shot. It shows up on the news every day as they talk about this turmoil. That shot was shot by a photojournalist with a little pull it out of your shirt pocket, click, click, put it back. Did you just take a picture? Nope. Right? I have a buddy of mine who is a world-class photojournalist. He shoots with a OM5, been all around the world, crushing it, shooting photos with an OM5. Has an entire book put out about all of the things that he shot. He is not sponsored by, managed by Magnum, which is a large photography conglomerate. Oh God, I hate when you do this. Hold on, let me consolidate these here windows. I hate when the windows don't be consolidated. You go there and then take this screen right here and just close it. All right. Olympus OM5 was his number one joint, bro. And like when you see him in things like this, getting like street shots at various events. He has a lot of shots from like political events, just like kind of crazy. This dude is like balling out of control. National Geographic, like, here's all of the new stuff, right? When he was in Rwanda during the Civil War. You're not walking around with all of that gear in Rwanda in the Civil War, right? When he's in Kosovo during that turmoil, he's walking around with a pocket-sized camera like the RXR. That's who that camera's for. That camera's not made for YouTubers who can't afford to spend $6,000 on a camera. It's made for people like Eli Reed who about to make that paper selling shots, $10,000 a shot sometimes. People stupid. It's like people stupid. Right. And how many people have said that, right? Something's over too pricey and then they bought one. It's super funny. Your dad was smart. He should have sold them both cameras. Actually, he eventually did. Yeah, he eventually did, because eventually they came back or they got to that level or they found out that they fell in love with the craft and then they come in, hang out at the store every day bothering me and June. Yeah, it'll be fine. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You have an RXR4. Dude, I really want, as a matter of fact, I have a chance to buy one right now. I do have a chance to buy one right now, but I don't know. I think as much as I had an RX 100 like OG, as much as I love that form factor and everything, and I do love the Sony ecosystem, my next move is probably going to be Q3. Almost did it this week. I was having breakdown. I was that close to buying my first red dot. I was so close. I was about to call June and be like, hey, you want to go in on a red dot? I was so close. I almost did it. If you see me at camp walk around with a red dot, my knees got weak. But I am coveting like somebody else's wife. Every time I see somebody bust out a red dot, if you don't know what that is, you don't shoot enough and good, don't come here. Stay away. It's a horrible drug. The red dot is a horrible drug, but might do it. June, don't be surprised if you come to the office and you see a red dot on the desk. There's something about it. You know what got me? I'm gonna tell you what got me, and I'm gonna put everybody on. Please go and if you can spend $7 a month, please do it. It is so dope. I am addicted. 100%. Listen, if you can swing $7 a month, go get this. You can play the first month for free. But I am cracked out. This is so good. I'm not even going to buy the stupid grip. I don't need that. I can just take pictures with my watch. But what's cool is you can pull out something like, a 1925, and you can pull shots on your phone, and you can go back in later and get crazy. You got all of the Greg Williams looks, which is super dope, if you know what that means, right? So if you look at my IG, you be seeing a lot of things like this with the Leica Lux on it. Wait, does mine have the little app mark? I don't even know if I checked that. But this app is so much fun. I am super addicted. I didn't even make a video about it yet because I'm like, I don't want people coming at me. But I am so far in love with this app. Like, it's crazy. Look, I tell you what. I don't know if you can see this. I'll do overhead. Hold on. I'm going to tell you how much in love I am with this app. Lock the phone. Wake up the phone. I have moved it to the bottom corner. Leica. Right there. I put it on. Thanks, Paul. Paul, you sending messages to Katie while we live? What the hell? Like, yo, fam, I am so much in love with this app. It's not even funny. Louise said, that means new cameras will be available for sale in the Doc Rock store. I sold my Ricoh so that I could buy a dot. So I have the proceeds from selling my diary edition. Here, I'm gonna bother June real quick. This is one of my cool red dot photos. Hey, mine doesn't say Doc Rock in the bottom. I gotta fix that. All right, cool. That, my friends, is called Panchan. Oh my God. So my stupid brother taught me about this cool restaurant called Hong Kong yesterday. Well, not yesterday. I've been there before with him, but I went yesterday. And oh my God, look at that. It's so good. Doc Boogie. I'm getting hungry. But that wasn't the shot I was going to show you. So I took this with the Leica. It just has a look. Like, it takes away that super sharp iPhone crap. Right? There was something funny about the color of this green and that seed and then the fake bike. Yeah, I love that app, by the way. It's just so good. Leica app. Leica camera app. It is in the App Store called Leica Lux. And you get to play with it for like a month, but then it's like $6. $6 or $7 a month. But I don't care. I just like it. Oh, speaking of which, since we're talking about camera apps, there's 2 brand new Open Gate apps for your phone that allow you to basically shoot using the full sensor in your iPhone and not just the 16:9. One is called Perla 2, Perla 3, sorry. And it also has film stimulations. So you can kind of fake like I do in my Fuji, but you can fake it with an iPhone. They got a lot of film sims in here. And you can make your own. Dude, if you go to Japan, I might give you the Yinjamins to bring back a 360. Because I was going to have Daniel send it from Canada, from the other brother. Right? You can build. Your screen is stopped by the system. Elgato prompter just died. How you talking about my hard disk space is low? What? Elgato, you on drugs? I have 80 gigs available, and once I empty the trash, it'll be like 250.
That's what happens when you make bad comments about Elgato online.
I'm not mad at them. I like them, but their tech support is slow as hell. I mean, one message every 8 days. It just take forever to solve some. That's all. Oh, if you buy the hand grip, it comes with the app. I didn't even check out how much the hand grip was. Okay, so there's the one, Paul. And let me finish now that I can't see inside the screen. So it does have film recipes, which you can probably download from other people. And then it can do video capture. It does HDR. You can customize it like crazy. And yeah, so this is an Open Gate in a nutshell for the uninitiated. Open Gate means this camera wants to shoot at either 3x2 or 16:9, because that's the general picture size, right? But the sensor is actually not quite square. The sensor is 3x2. I lied, 4x3. The sensor is 4x3. So even any camera you got, right? Osmo Pocket, this little dude right here, the sensor is almost square. So the whole point of shooting at the whole sensor is that if you decide you need a vertical for some social media sharing, it's already there. Like you covered it. But when you set it at 16:9, you lost 20% top and bottom. So it's harder to get to that without everything being overly zoomed in. So there's this thing where everybody wants to shoot Open Gate. This camera doesn't have Open Gate. My other Fuji has Open Gate. My Canon has Open Gate. It shoots 6.2 Open Gate. Everybody's mad because Sony hasn't put out Open Gate yet. But like Kat's ZV-1, that she thinks is a 4K camera, is actually a 6K camera, but they only ever show you 4K. They use the other 2K for stabilization. So that way when you do stabilization, it moves around the sensor. You know what I'm saying? So there you go. There's this app, and there's one more. It's called, I want to say Open Camera. And if you want to play with one of these, Open Camera is free. I don't remember what I paid for Perla, or maybe I haven't paid the upgrade yet, but super cheap. Open Gate, Smoking Gate. Nah, it's not about the photos and videos. It's about recovery for social media. So like, I kind of get it. Here's the pricing, but you can't see that. It is $3.99 for 1 month. I don't know why everybody's doing 1 month pricing, but I think it's kind of brilliant because if you're going on vacation and you just want to back up, you want to be sure you got it, you can pay $4 and then just never use it again. Or you can pay $9.99 for 3 months or 24 bones for the year. I normally an a-hole. I normally buy 24. Just play with it. You know what I mean? So there's that. Yeah, the other one is called Open Camera. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in the camera tech space is moving into OpenGate, and they come to this conclusion because of things like the 360 cameras, right? So that's kind of where they come through. Anyway, let me close that. Yeah, I love the camera techs coming in. Yeah, 400 for the grip. I'd rather pay the year of. Oh, is it 400? Are you telling the truth? I'd rather pay the app price. Let me see. Discover now. This one. Okay. I mean, can't you just use one of the small rig grips for mad cheap? Let's see. Shop now. Jesus! Jesus. I mean, but it's understandable. Like, I get it. If you come in here and you go to buy and let's go to a Q. Not the 4.3 one, get the regular one. Boom. I mean, that's what a Q3 costs. Right? And I so want one. Oh, stop doing it. I so want one. Like, it's so sexy. This is a piece of machinery. Absolute piece of machinery. Right? Like, oh my God. Or, let's go to the M section. Also dope. Where's the M11? Boom. Look at that. Oh, but it's so sexy. La, 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 la. Uncle is going to have to hit the Leteri. And once I hit the Leteri, he's going to get a Leica. Made in Germany. Dude. Look at that. Oh, God. Stop looking at that. That is photography porn. For anybody who knows what they're doing, that is photography porn. Right? Dude. I mean, there's something so quintessentially classic about Leica. It's the photographer's version of Rolex. Paul ordering pizza while we doing this. Right? The Leica grip is equivalent to the SM7B. Yeah, I don't need the grip, though. I can just hold the hand by myself. Rich said the cute little leather case is $70, though. Oh, my God. Yeah, you don't need an SM7B. I'm just saying, it's funny that the people who came through back in the day talking all of that spiciness about his overpriced all seem to have one now, which is just funny. Yeah. Leica doesn't meet most people's value proposition. They're acting a bit like Hermes. They do make a fabulous product, and they know they could sell it for less, but they don't have to. That's the thing about it. So that's what fair market value means. And let's be honest. Let's be absolutely honest, June Kang. We wouldn't have the same erection for the product if it was the same price as Canon or Sony. The reason why lean in close. A Porsche is a Volkswagen. But when you say, I have a Porsche, you got a Porsche. You coming in John Holmes. If you say, I got an Audi, you coming in average. Like regular dude. If you say you got a Volkswagen, you coming in like micropene, like 47. Same thing. Slightly better parts, a little bit extra engineering, leather seats, hand sewn, as opposed to factory. They do some things, but part of the prestige is in the horse. Same with the Prancing Horse and Maranello and the Ferrari. Like, Ferrari is one of the last unadulterated brands, meaning no other big company owns them. But you're definitely paying extra for the Prancing Horse. So yeah, like I 100% agree. Like if Supreme can sell a $400 t-shirt made out of the same cotton as this piece of crap that Paul is wearing right now, or me or the other Paul, Aubrey cut her sleeves off. She went straight thuggish with it. But Supreme would sell every one of the shirts we're wearing right now with a Supreme logo would be over 200 bones. I got the colorway down. It's just backwards, right? Or actually, the red versions cost more. So yeah, like that's one of the things about certain particular brands. Some things, which is why I like sake better than I like wine, because in sake, if it's $150, it tastes like $150. But I've definitely had some $1,500 bottles of wine that taste like dirt, and then I had some $8 joints from Safeway that tasted fine. And so yeah, I hate wine because it's too made up. Sake is kind of true about that. Whiskey's kind of true to form. Normally, a high-end, anything over 12 years tastes good. 18 tastes amazing. 20, 25 tastes like, damn! And the highest I've had so far is 30. And a shot of 30 was $90, but it tasted like $90. It tasted like Jesus made this himself. It was off the hook. It was at the Yamazaki factory, but oh my God, it was so good. Right, there you go, Jim. 100 years. Yeah, Leica's dope, dude. They're so brilliant. So brilliant. And also, there's something about the German engineering is different, man. It's not, I mean, you know what it is. That's why I have a German car. Their engineering game is different. They're not just cranking it out for the hell of cranking it out. Like, I totally get that it ain't for everybody, but I just want one. I want to close that loop in my life. I want to close my loop. See, no, Kodak, they went cheap. Why is Kodak out of business right now? They tried to sell Walmart cameras. Where other people was like, no, they had no business being out of business. Like, they kind of sort of built the business. Like, there was other people in the game, but Kodak was like John Holmes running around just meeting it up. Boom, boom, boom. But they was charging it cheap. Right? They was in the drugstore. You could go into Long's Drugs in Honolulu and buy the Kodak Instamatic when you put the flash bar on top. The brown one that was by Yo Big. You put the straight bar across the top. Right? You could buy that joint at the drugstore. That's why Kodak is out of business right now. They try to do too much things. June, I'm coming up to your house right now, jackass. Paul, you would appreciate June's stupid ass comment. Guys, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Anyway, I need to eat before class. Otherwise, they're in trouble. So, Patrick, dang it. I said I was going to eat, damn it. I got you, fam. Come through. Hurry up. Oh, by the way, I was going to make a video to answer your question about the ability to select everything at one time and change the duration at one time in DaVinci. Yes, you absolutely can do that. I was going to make a video to show that, and then I got sidetracked doing other stuff because my brain. But yes, I definitely wanted to tell you that that's a thing. So while you type out your question, I will show you what I mean. Mike said Kodak ignored digital. That was also a big problem they had. Dude, I was so in on. Oh, look, he just asked the same question that I was going to make a video for you and post it, but I'll just do it right now so you can see. So give me 1 second. No, their main business is gone. They still got licensing deals, but I just saw a report like recently about how their licensing deals are mostly almost gone. So they're like almost ghost. I literally just saw a full ass business report on it like very, very few seconds ago. Damn it, launch. What are you doing? Okay, let me show you. I'm going to show this to Patrick. And, yo, Dude, after this is super strange, Duncan. The Elgato prompter thing died, and now the Stream Deck doesn't auto switch profiles when I go to different apps. How crazy is that? Nothing to do with each other, but this is the kind of weird crap that Elgato does that makes me want to punch him in the dick. All right, so I think I already did it. No, I didn't. These are all different. Let me go to this page so you can see they're all different sizes, right? So if we were to select them all, right, and then right click on any one and then go to clip duration, and then let's say make each clip 5 seconds. Hit the button. Now they're all 5 seconds. Bingo, bango, pickle, mango. Easy peasy, cover greasy. Just to make it even more clear, we'll undo that. It's thinking. Undo that. All right. So let's click on it. Bingo. Change clip duration. Man, why you all the way over there? Stay underneath my mouse. I hate apps that do that. DaVinci, your user interface needs a punch in the pills. This is the newest version too. Anyway, it's all the way to hang over here. I'm going to hit 1 second. Look, and you can't even move the damn window. Like, why would you not stay underneath my mouse? Stupid. Now they're all 1 second. See how easy that is? Dude, that's just irritating. That's super irritating. Let me try something while we're in here. Let's go to this page. So we'll do a zoom to fit. Select everything. Bring the playhead down here. Right click. And then I don't see it. Oh, there it is. It is same thing. It's the same command too, Pat. Look. Hello. Bingo. Command D. Hey, bitch. Command D. Dude, look, it just picks up wherever the hell it wants to pick up. That is so strange. And let's do 3 seconds. Not 23. 3 seconds. Ooh, that was 0.3. You have to do 3.0. There you go. 3 seconds. So yes, you can do it. Ooh, let's undo that. Put on trim mode and see if it'll do it there. And now let's do the command D. And then let's do 2.5. There you go. If you're in trim mode, then it'll close the gap. If you're not in trim mode, it won't close the gap. Now you know. See? I was going to make a whole separate video. I still would do it because people probably need to know that, because if you had that question, so did everybody else. And I was good. The day that I saw your question, I was like, I'm going to make that video. And then there was a joint and it went out the window. My bad. At least I'm honest. Like, once the joint, when the la hits the system, it hits so hard that your hat can't fit you. It was night-night. It was somewhere between the joint and the Manchester game. It didn't happen. Yeah, that's weird, right? That the Screen app actually jacked up the Stream Deck, though. It should be already crazy. Listen, Drew, stay out of this. It is Command D. Now we know. Now we're in there. Yeah, dude, if we get a range tool, I'll be so happy. I've been looking at like ways to work around that lack of range tool, because me and range tool, I live in the range tool in FCP, and the fact that we don't have that, it really does chap my nads. But hey, anyway, I'm glad you got that, and thanks for the question. I'll still make the video, give you credit for the video, so that way you can, it'll be your fault that I made it. Anyway, peeps, I gotta go eat before class. I don't know what the hang Aubrey is doing, but she is highly focused at the moment, which is good. She got her glasses and her pen. She is well focused, which is rarity. I'm teasing. Relax.
She's painting her hands.
Right? She got a pen. Don't try to stab me. Anyway, family, love you guys. I'll see you on Tuesday. Y'all be good. Peace out. A-Town Stomp.
City of mine, how I love this city of mine. It never gets me down.